here we are on a familiar road that you guys have seen many times before, and you're gonna see again. Like I told you, we were gonna be in a Mack Anthem just like we were in with the previous company. Just a different color. This one's orange. But very comfortable truck. I enjoyed driving it when I was up there at the other company. So I'm familiar with all its controls and everything else. So I'm going to enjoy this. Feels good to be home, as they say. I know I mentioned it in the other video. I really should not have ever left here, but I needed to have a day shift schedule, which is the only reason why I left. It had nothing to do with the way I was treated or the nature of the work or anything like that. So I guess that camera, we have a outward facing camera here, but not an inward facing camera. But like that blue Peterbilt used to beep every now and again, it sounds like this camera does that same beep. But we are heading out for our first load. We are going to the Red Barn location, and we're going to take that to Fogelsville. It seems like this truck has a lot of wind noise. The hood doesn't rattle, but it sounds like there's a lot of wind noise in here. I'll have to maybe try and figure out, unless that passenger door isn't closed right, because I loaded my camera equipment and stuff in from that side. So I'll have to check it when we get up here and start loading. But so we have two of them down to Fogelsville, and then we'll go out to the Well in the Woods, grab one, and take that down to Lansdale, which I have taken you to before. So we'll get to stretch our legs a little bit and run down the turnpike a couple exits and go drop and hook that one down there, and then that'll be our day, which is nice. I won't have to, like I said, the other company, when you got down to what you were finished with, you had to call in to see if there was anything more to do. We're here, when you're done, you're done. And that's a nice feeling. You do what you're scheduled to do, what you're assigned to do, and then that is your day. So, see, it's sunny out today. Tomorrow, the landscape is going to change because we're supposed to get 3 to 6, 4 to 8 inches of snow. And then it's going to get cold for a few days after that, so that snow isn't going to go anywhere. So, all right, we'll talk to you later. All right, so you know this location. Now let's see if anybody's here loading. One truck just went out, so I don't know if anybody was behind them or if I'm gonna get up here by myself. Chances are somebody's probably gonna come while I'm loading if nobody's here at the moment, so we will see. Nope, I got it all to myself. Now the fun part is I got to get used to how far back I have to have the trailer to get the hose to reach the inlet. I probably lost my touch a little bit being away for 4 months, so I might have to readjust it before I can actually get hooked up, and you know, you gotta get my sea legs back, so to speak. Now let's see how good we do here. I had all my marks from what where I needed to be, but I got a feeling I'm gonna be way off. Yep, I gotta pull up already. So I get used to what I used to do before. And I don't know if they changed the hose, made it longer, made it shorter. We'll find out when we get back there. Let's try that for starters. So other than needing to do that little pull-up because I wasn't square to the dock area here, I nailed the distance. Got it perfect on the first shot. So guess I got my sea legs back pretty quick, except for one thing. Where the water drains out of the hose after we set it in the trough, I forgot what time of year it was, and I stepped where it was wet, but it wasn't wet. It was ice, and I almost went down on my ass. But otherwise, all's going well so far, and boy, am I happy to be back here. I'll tell you. I was so miserable up at that other place. I didn't show it much, but I really was. I mean, I'm going to have good days and bad days. It's always going to be that way no matter where you're at. But I am just so happy to be back here already. Just loading my first one here. It feels so good. So anyway, we're loading, and before somebody turns that corner and catches me talking to you guys, we'll finish up and talk to you going down the road. All right, so we're loaded and rolling. Typical, takes about 20 minutes to load up a 6, and then we're out of here. Nobody came while I was here. A few things. My intro this morning when I was standing outside my Jeep, I forgot I'm using the Bluetooth microphone, which I'm going to have to change back to using a regular microphone. Defaulted to the Jeep, so I was speaking, but there's no audio because I was outside the Jeep, so have to address that in the future. But like I said, instead of using the audio, instead of using the Bluetooth earpiece as my microphone, I'm just going to have to take my thing out of the camera, stick it on my phone, and use my external microphones as I used to do in the past. But so here we are, going down the 15-mile-an-hour road again. And of course, down at the bottom, you know what it's like. We got to try and get out on the 309. That's probably the biggest challenge of running out of this well, is getting out on the 309. But we did it in the past. We'll do it again. Sometimes we tick off a four-wheeler that comes up out of that dip after we already started into our turn. So once we start, we got to keep going, and they've got to brake or do whatever they need to do until we get straightened out and start pulling the grade. If I see them, I'll wait, but a lot of times it looks like nothing's coming, and you get about a quarter of the way out, and you catch them out of the corner of your eye coming up over that knoll, and well, then it's too late. We got to keep going at that point. So but anyway, you know all about that because we talked about it at length in the past. But since we're back on this, I figured I'd tell you about it again. A lot of the drivers don't like coming out of here at 15 miles an hour when the speed limit is 25, but that's what they want us to do, so that's what we do. I think in one of my videos I had gotten passed down here at the bottom right by the stop sign because somebody didn't want to be behind me. So it creates a situation sometimes when you get somebody impatient riding down behind you. They want to do 25, 30, 35, and we're crawling out of here at 15. But that's what the neighbors want, and we want to keep them happy, so then we just do what they want. So here we are. Put the four-ways on first. That way when I cancel out my turn signal, the four-ways are immediately on. And this truck should turn better than that Kenworth that I was in. Now, nothing is coming. Nope, now something's coming. See? That's what I mean by, if I see them, I'll wait. But if I don't see them and it looks like it's clear, then I'm gonna go, and then it is what it is. Now nothing's coming, so now we're gonna get going. And one other thing while I got you is, unlike the Mac I had up there at the other company that had a single piece windshield, this one has a split windshield, a two-piece windshield. So I've got the bar in the middle, and the wiper pattern is a little different. So I had to move it left, but it's still catching a little bit of the dirty part of that window, as you can see. So I guess we'll just have to deal with it unless I move it more left, but then it'll be so off-centered it might look funny. So, but we'll get all that figured out as we go along. But anyway, here we are climbing up the Blue Mountain. We'll see how this truck does. Alright, so the last time we were down here was for my cousin-in-law's funeral, and they had signs up that they were going to have this closed down here south of this light over the weekend. So let's see if they fix these bumpy railroad tracks. If you remember, every time I used to go over these railroad tracks, it didn't matter what truck I was in, it would slam hard and make a big racket. So let's see if that was what they were doing when they were closing this road down, because these were pretty bad. Yep, that's exactly what they did. They dug up the blacktop, re-concreted around the rails, and that's nice and smooth now. That's what I figured they were gonna do, so. But anyway, we were almost here, and I didn't see anybody coming back north, which makes me wonder if the plant had slowed down and we're gonna be in a holding pattern and unloading one at a time when we get there, so. We'll try to talk to you unless it's too crowded, too many people are around, let you know. All right, so we were indeed delayed down here. I think I mentioned when I was coming down here that I hadn't seen any northbound trucks, so I figured that things were slow, and they were. I got down here and I was able to get on the pad, but I got down here at 10:15 and it's now noon and I haven't unloaded yet. I'm next to unload. The one guy that's still here, from when I got here, he's unloading right now, so hopefully maybe as soon as his is empty, my light will come on and I'll be able to unload, because the first one was an hour and 15 minutes between lights, and then the second one was 15 minutes, so maybe 5 minutes, maybe instantaneous light, I don't know, but it looks like we're not going to get out of here till 1 o'clock, so change of plans. Instead of coming back down here with the second load before going to Lansdale, we're going to go to Lansdale with the second one, make sure they get their load, and not sure which trailer I'm going to bring back from there, but one of them, the wash ticket expires, and so I don't know if I'll be able to load it to bring it back here. If I have that trailer, if that's the one that's empty, then I'll have to head back to the yard with it and call it after 2 loads. They have 2 trailers down there. There are 3 in the pool, and usually one is partially emptied, one is empty, and then the load that we bring in. So depending on which one they emptied out will dictate whether I get a 3rd load tonight or end up with just the 2. So we'll see, and we'll let you know, but right now we're in the holding pattern. So for those who don't remember, or new subscribers and viewers who've not seen me do water before, there's 3 green lights up on top. The one on the right side is the silo status. The one in the middle comes on when you push the button to show that the pump is active. The one on the left is the button that starts the pump. So what we're waiting for is that green light on the right side to come back on. When that light comes back on, that means there's room in the silo for me to start unloading my tank. Alright, so about 5 minutes after I made that last clip telling you about the lights and how they worked, the light came on. So we are unloading right now. 20 minutes unload. We should be out of here about 1 o'clock. You can see what I mean by the center light's on, which means the pump is active. The right-hand side light, that's the silo. It was on for a little while, but now it went back out. So that means the next guy's going to have to wait a little bit before he can start his pump. I was hoping it would stay on, because if it would stay on, then as soon as my pump shut off, he would be able to activate his. But looks like they're going to have to continue to wait a few minutes before they can start unloading. All right, empty and heading on out. Like I said, we got to go up, get load number 2, which is going to come out of the Well in the Woods, because I don't know what community that actually sits in. So I can't actually tell you where it is. It just, it's the Well in the Woods. That's what I call it. So that's where we got to go to get the loads that go down to Lansdale. So that's where we're headed. It is 12:59, so like I told you, we would probably get out of here right at 1 o'clock. That's pretty much what we did. Kind of know that it takes 20 minutes to load them, 20 minutes to unload them. So we are on the move. Don't know what traffic is going to be like going down there. I don't know if they opened up that new section yet south of Quakertown. Last time I went down there in that blinding rainstorm, it looked like they were soon going to open it, so it may be open by now. So maybe 3 lanes each direction from Quakertown all the way down. But that remains to be seen. So we're in a good time slot that when I come out of here and make this right, I can go up to the intersection and make a left. There shouldn't be too much traffic for me to wait on. 3 o'clock is shift change for a lot of places down here. In that case, then I go to the right and just go out the 100 that way. Nothing's coming. Oh yeah, that was a pretty significant wait. That's one of the longer ones that I've had down here. But it is what it is. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it comes with the territory. Sometimes you get in and out of there, and sometimes you gotta wait. It all depends on how they're using water. And sometimes lines break down and they don't use as much. You know, it just is what it is, and not much you're gonna do about it. And see, this is what I mean by it being easy to get out of here at this time of day, as opposed to 3 o'clock. So, still got a nice day out, 42 degrees, it's pretty much sunny, there's some high clouds around, but we're really comfortable sitting down there with the sun hitting the white wall. Warms that pad up real nice, almost like a spring day sitting there waiting to get unloaded. Now, sometimes this gets dicey too around shift change because everybody's coming out of those warehouses down there, and you sit here and you wait and you wait and you wait to make this left turn. But there's only 2 coming and we'll be able to go. I tell you, I just cannot tell you how happy I am to be back here. I should have never left in the first place. But you live and you learn. So anyway, this will take us out to 100. And go up the normal way we always go, 100, 309 up over to Blue, but then we gotta hook a left at the bottom of the Blue and go out to that other well. So we'll talk to you somewhere along the way or while we're loading up there. All right, so we're here loading up. We 5,000 gallons in. We only got another 1,100 to go, and then we're gonna shut her down and then head down to Lansdale with it, and then change of plans again. Once I pick up the trailer down there, I'm gonna run it right out to the tank wash and swap it out there and then bring it back. So we're gonna have a nice afternoon with some long rides attached to them for today. Of course, not every day is going to be like that, but not a bad way to start the new job again. So, but anyway, we're almost done. Got to watch the meter so I can manually shut it down, and then we'll be on our way. All right, so my favorite catchphrase, loaded and rolling. So we're loaded and we're leaving here. Then we get out the country road here to 895, 895 to 309 down to Allentown, take the turnpike down to Lansdale. And after we get done dropping and hooking out there, we jump back on the turnpike and take that out to Elizabethtown, Harrisburg area, and get this thing dropped and swapped out there, get a freshly sanitized tank to bring back. But it's gonna make for a long night. I'm probably gonna get a solid 12 out of this. We'll see, because I think it's 2 hours from Lansdale over there to the tank wash, and then probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours back home, and I think it's about an hour and a half down to Lansdale. Don't know what the traffic's gonna be like, so we may not get back till 9 o'clock tonight. But having to sit down there in Fogelsville and wait to get unloaded kind of threw a monkey wrench into everything today. Or it would have been a different story. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it still would have been a long day. But it is what it is. And I'm off tomorrow already because I had that doctor's appointment that I made way back in July that was for the 2nd, so it really doesn't matter when I get home tonight. The only thing is, for our girl driver, she was hoping to be able to get a little bit of an earlier start so she could get her loads done before the snow started falling overnight, but now she's probably going to have to go out pretty much right at her appointed time. I guess her thinking was that if I got back earlier than 9 o'clock, then she was going to roll as soon as I got back, but that's the way it works sometimes. So I don't don't know what time the snow is going to start. Like I said, originally they were saying between 1 and 4. Now they're talking about more towards 6 a.m. So anybody's guess. It's going to start snowing when it wants to start snowing. So don't know if she'll be able to get what she's got scheduled done or not. But hopefully we can make good time everywhere we go, because I would like to get back a little earlier just for her so that she can get started earlier. So, but like I said, it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. I gotta wait here. One. I got another one coming. This is a hard turn to get out on, so it's going to take me a while to get going once I make this turn, so I make sure nothing's coming either direction. Put the loud blinkers on. At least these are loud. In the other trucks that I was driving, the four-ways and turn signals were so quiet that sometimes I would forget that they were on because I wouldn't hear them. There's no chance of forgetting them on here because you can definitely hear them. But anyway, we are rolling under a muted sun. Like I said, those clouds are starting to roll in already. I don't know what that means for snow start time, but the clouds are starting to roll in. So, but we're going to keep on keeping on and try and get down there as quickly but as safely as we can. So, alright, so we're down here on 476 coming up on this Quakertown exit. Just beyond this exit is where the construction was all summer long, where they were widening this from 2 to 3 lanes. And we're going to find out now if they open it up or not. Last time we were down here, when we were heading to Jersey in that rainstorm, it looked like they were getting real close to opening it up completely. Looked like maybe only a couple little sections needed to be paved and then it could be opened. So we're going to find out here in a minute. I don't see any construction signs, so I have a feeling it is open for business. That'll be nice because we gotta thin this traffic out and we'll all be able to roll real nice. Now let's see what we got. Yep. Yep, they opened it up. I figured it was close. That was, what, about a month ago, a month and a half ago when I came down here in that rainstorm. And they looked like they were closed, so now we're open. Nice. We're going to help out a lot with the traffic from Quakertown on south. Alright, so we did that drop and swap back there. If you remember, that's the one where we used to back in off the street and get lined up to one we needed to get into and then grab an empty and get out of there. So we did that and had to walk all the way around the building. Had to walk all the way around the building to go use the restroom, so I didn't do any recording down there. So we're down here at Sumney Town Pike, gonna make the right, get on the turnpike, take 476 south to the east-west, and take the 76 west to, I believe it's 743. Jump off there, that'll take us right into Elizabeth Town or Elizabethville, or whichever one it is, and then we'll be where we need to be and at the tank wash. So it's a way I'd never gone before. I wish I would have brought my GPS. I think I could have made a right on red here, but I can't see with that sun in my face. But anyway, we're going now, so let's see. Like I said, I'm using my Google Maps GPS because I didn't bring the truck GPS because I generally don't need it for this run, but going out to the tank wash from Lansdale is not something I've ever done before, so had to figure out exactly which way I was going to go out there, which exit I needed to get me close. Drive it right into the sun going south down the freeway here. Okay, well, originally she wanted to take me all kind of back roads and get on US 30 and take that down to Lancaster and then up 283, but that's all right in the car, but not in the big truck. Plus, when I talked to dispatcher, I asked him about taking the turnpike. He said, yep, take the turnpike. So we are taking the turnpike. But this turned into a totally different day than what I expected it to be. I didn't know I was going to end up going out to the tank wash. What it was supposed to be was 2 down to Fogelsville and 1 down here to Lansdale, and then go up there and park it for our night shift driver. He got all kinds of twisted up and turned around. Oh no, we're not going to be driving into the sun. We'll probably be driving into the sun down there on westbound on 76. But anyway, we're back on the move again. It has me getting out there at 6:05. So see how good it is and see if I can make up some time or if I'm going to lose time. I have no idea right now where it's going to exit me off of the turnpike, but I know where I want to get off. So we'll see how it goes, but anyway. Southbound to westbound and down, and we'll talk to you along the way and hopefully when we get out there, but we got to make up some time so we're not too late for my night shift partner. So all right, so I figured we would have a pretty nice sunset tonight, and look out there. We got what's left of one. It was probably about as good as it's looked. But I figured with these cirrus clouds, with the storm coming in, I figured the sun would get underneath them and light them up pretty nice and give us something close to an Arizona sunset. So it does look pretty cool out there. Not often I get to grab a cool sunset, so we got one here going westbound, so I figured I'd shoot a couple minutes of it for you guys. But I don't know, we're a little ways away from our exit that we're going to use to get down to Elizabethtown, so we got a ways to go, so we'll talk to you a little bit later. Alright, we're down here at Elizabethtown and we dropped our dirty tank and we picked up a sanitized one, and we're going to get rolling here in a few minutes. But holy moly, what a ride coming out here. A longer ride out the turnpike than I expected it to be, but we got here about 5:45, so we're gonna get rolling here in a few minutes and head on back. I'll have to talk with the other driver, see if I'm gonna fuel it before I come in or if she's gonna fuel it on her way out, but she may actually have enough to run her runs. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so we're headed back with the clean tank now, and looks like we got a little bit of traffic to deal with here in Harrisburg. It is 6:22 p.m. It should be getting close to the tail end of rush hour, but still a lot of brake lights going on up here ahead of me. I don't know, hopefully 83 up here is not all kinds of jammed up. I see police cars up here. What the heck is all this? There's a whole ton of them. Oh, that's on the other side. Okay. Must be an accident over there. Yep. Look at the traffic on that side. But this side's slowing down to take a look and see what's going on. That's what it is. Yeah, I guess there was some kind of accident over there, and there's a half a dozen police cars sitting over there. And everybody's slowing down to see what was going on. So I don't think we'll have a traffic problem coming up 83 here. Don't think. I haven't been out this way at this time of day in quite a while, so I don't know. Mr. Bolton, are you going to want to stay over there? Are you going to gas on it, get going, and come over here? Or what are you going to do? I don't want to get alongside you and you do something sneaky. That side's got to be a mess, probably, all the way up to 81. Oh, man. Thankfully, I mean, I don't wish of an accident on any side of the freeway, but thank goodness it's not on this side, or God knows when we would get back, and then my truck partner would be getting a late start. So as it is, I'm probably going to get back there about 8 o'clock, so looks like it's going to be about an 11-hour day for me, which is all right. I don't mind, but and she starts at 9, so we're right in the window of where we should be. But if we had to sit in traffic like that over there, then we'd have a little bit of a problem. But anyway, we're rolling. It's gonna be dark all the way back now, so I don't know if I'll show you anything else out on the road or just talk to you when we get back to the shop. Alright, so when we got off 78 on the 61, if I'd have known that the right lane was going to be closed up here past the shopping centers, I'd have just jumped in that left lane after I made the turn, because now there's a long line there and I bet nobody's going to want to let me over. But we are going to have to get over there because this right lane closes. Alright, yep, somebody is going to let me over. Holy moly! And that's one rough road. Yeah, somebody let me over. Give them a quick thank you for doing that. I don't know what they're doing up here. I guess they're eventually going to fix the whole road. They better, because, man, that lane back there was, like, super rough. Probably doing bridge work up here right now. I've been out this way. I haven't been up this way for a while, that's for sure. Been 4 months since I ran up 61. Yep. That's exactly what it is. I guess they're doing work on that bridge. Anyway, that's that. We're about a half hour from the shop, so we should get there about 7:45. And until we close everything out, and it'll be 8 o'clock till we actually leave. So, like I said, a solid 11-hour day today. So, wasn't quite what I was expecting, but we don't mind. It wasn't bad. A lot of seat time, that's for sure. A lot of freeway time. So, no complaints. Just wasn't, like I said, the kind of day I expected when it started. Yeah. So, alright, we'll talk to you maybe back at the shop. It all depends.